Hey guys, it's ICC Cup Fitz here from ICC Cup TV, and today I'm going to be doing a co-cast with Varial. Varial should be pretty interesting, and the map's going to be on Circuit Breaker. What you just have to know about this map, essentially, is that your main's on the high ground and your natural has a pretty big choke to it, but since this is a TVT, it shouldn't be too hard to wall it off by putting a couple bunkers or supply depots just to minimize the route the ground units can take, and then you can just put siege tanks, and you're pretty much defending from your front door. And your third is like where it would be in Fighting Spirit, and yeah. And to introduce our players, we have the in the spawning in the bottom left, we're gonna have the Purple Terran TSL's Headstrong, and Headstrong is actually gonna be against UED's C. Now the origin of this replay is actually from like round or like week 1 of a like team league of like D rank players, where each team of like 4 players or 5 players, Varial can elaborate more when I'm done, but where they'll be pitted up against each other, and each week they'll be doing like matches, I guess, of how that works. Yeah. So this is actually a D rank replay, so we may be seeing more elaborate strategies from them, or just more of a watered down version of what the pros would expect. So you could learn a lot from this if you're more of a D rank player. And Varial, you can explain whatever you want to talk about.
Alright, so in order to explain a little bit about the match, the D-Rank Team League is pretty much a league set for, well, teams of D-level players ranging from pretty much anywhere. Got a lot of different players from like all over the globe. About, what was it, like 15 teams of like 7 or more. There's more information on Team Liquid and under Brood War tourneys, and yes, a little bit about this game. I know both players a little bit personally. UEDC is from the clan, White Iron. Well, not the clan, the team, UED Academy, I'm also a part of. And he is a D+ Terran that, actually not that bad at TVT. For the Purple Terran, it is IC Cup Headstrong, who is a recent tri-admin, if I remember correctly, for counter abuse team. So yeah, and I spoke with him a little bit when he first took part in becoming an admin, but I guess it's about it that I could explain about the players.
Do you know what rank the Purple Terran is at all, or is he just, is this gonna be D+ versus D+, or is this gonna be more of like a D versus a D+?
I think it's a D+ versus D+, because majority of the time when you see it to land, they're higher than D+, or at least D+, but yeah, that's just from my own experiences, because I've played a lot of them, including some of my friends are Chilean, so.
Okay. Nothing really too out of the ordinary for me, either player. One's opting to go more of a, it looks like, oh no, never mind, that was not an academy, so they're doing identical builds, just getting up their factory, probably going to go for fast vultures, probably. Either going to be 2 factory, I think it's going to be 2 factory. Probably. I think it's standard. This SCV? No, it's dead! Let's see what this guy's doing. I want to know. I want to follow this guy completely around the map and just figure what he's going to be doing. I wish I could hockey. What? He just stopped. Is that a ramp?
Yeah, it is.
And he just chilling there. That's not a ramp.
Yep.
Is it a ramp?
That's part of a ramp. Yeah, it's like another engagement area. It's a secondary engagement area where you could go in and attack the...
Oh, I wasn't sure if that was like an actual... Oh, SCV just got picked off. That's not good. C is actually taking an expand, and it looks like Headstrong is also to be taking an expand. Very identical builds. I guess it's just going to have to come down to the micro of both players. The C actually has one more Marine than than Headstrong does, but that should be fine if he puts down a bunker, or yeah. And he will be getting up a 3rd one right about now. And he'll have one more vulture count, so he should be taking care of this just fine. And I don't see how this push could really do anything, other than the fact just to, apply some pressure, really. I'm going to be flying the barracks over to probably get a good scout going on. and going starport also, double starport actually, and he's going to be going double factory play while he's going to be tech switching to something, maybe cloaked wraith. I haven't seen that really that much often, but this is my first D rank ish replay I've seen, so could be either way. Could be doing something crazy that I just don't know what's going to happen. Because I don't want to be over analytical about something. Oh, and it cancels the thing. And what is he planning? He's getting wraith. Is he getting cloak? That would be something interesting. He
Alright.
is. What? What's up?
I'm just going to explain a little bit about what the players are doing. Well, it seems that Headstrong's actually applying for a timing-based attack, but excuse me. This is the same exact thing that I did versus C every time that we were sparring TVT. So yeah, he's just gonna go for wraiths and just be as annoying as possible. Yeah, you could see that it's a little bit of a timing push. That's why he's already set, I believe, mines, correct? No mines.
No mines.
Whatsoever for heads. So yeah, he's just gonna try to get basic map control, while at the same time being able to harass and pick off any drop ships. That's the reason behind the whole 2-port raids, but I have no idea how his micro is. And it's all dependent on the micro if he's gonna actually go all the way and get cloak, but it doesn't seem like he's moving out yet. I don't know what the deal is.
Well, I think the also benefit to having the wraith is that it can also probably, if there is an incoming tank push, he can probably at least do more damage to the tanks. Just softening them up a little bit if he does have to push back with them, so it's not too bad if he the wraith. But it looks like he actually might be doing some wraith harass, which can be very, very annoying. I know that personally. But he doesn't have turrets out, and it doesn't look like he's really expected for it. But third factory is going down for C, and C is going to be doing a moderately strong push. He does have siege mode completed. Siege mode is not completed for C yet, so this could be pretty devastating to him. And he's even going to put down mines, and he is getting a good amount of kills off these wraiths. He's about 4 SCV kills so far, and he's finally putting down his eBay, so he will be able to get up a couple of the missile turrets in his mineral line. Yeah, so far only 5 kills and getting comsat, but I don't think he's going to be getting cloak no, he is getting cloak actually, oddly enough. But now I think that's going to be pretty much useless, as considering the fact he's going to have getting double comsat and he's going to be having turrets up by all over his base probably by the point that he has. And yeah, just being pretty pesky with the tanks. But wraiths are here to do off, at least he's going to pick off able the tanks, because he's not going to have Goliath out yet. Yeah. But he is doing moderate damage to the natural, but I don't think it's going to be going any... Oh, it's going to actually be targeting the mineral line! What is going on? But, yeah, still constant production of wraith. Will he have a response to this? He's actually going to be sending quite a few SCVs out with a couple Goliaths, so we'll see how this wraith engagement is going to be going for it. As he probably will repair that Goliath, or both Goliaths, rather. But he does have cloak up, and he hasn't scanned quite yet. There goes the scan. Oh no! Goliaths are proving to be very good against wraith completely. But he's still able to, stop that push, which is really, really good. I know in that situation, I probably would have just been dead. Just be like, oh, yeah, GG. And with that, he's going to be able to get map control. And I think Varial wanted to say something, and I talked over him.
It's perfectly fine, but I'm actually surprised that C has let Headstrong actually even kill his refinery. He had a chance to roll with the dropship that he had out before that he shoved prematurely. He could have dropped the 2 tanks that he had on the ledge on top of the 2 siege tanks on the back, and then would have let his refinery live longer, but I guess it's fine. He hasn't practiced too much TVT. I guess I need to spar more with him, but it's fine. So far, he's got a pretty significant lead with a map presence. Hasn't scattered too much. Actually, Obviously, he's in dire need of gas, so he needs to double expand ASAP. He's just making one command center, but I guess it's going to be his Achilles heel later on in the game if he doesn't do anything. As we can see, wow, a lot of tanks queued up for the factory with a machine shop add-on for Headstrong, and the Rig's going to poke his spot in here, killing off one. Yeah, he's not even going to get one dot. While he is trying to expand, he hasn't really, he hasn't really done any drop. He has 2 dropships per dropship. I mean, yeah, 2 tanks per dropship, but still hasn't utilized. He still needs to scout about.
I think part of the problem is that he's turtling so hard just through the early Wraith harass. He's going to have turrets all over the base, so it's going to be hard to be able to do a drop on him, which I think is part of the problem right now. You can't really find a point where he is. However, I'm not sure if he probably doesn't know about the hidden expansion in the bottom right, which actually should be very beneficial to Headstrong, actually. And it looks like he may even get that barracks picked off, which would delay. Actually, no, it would delay factory production if he wanted to build more factories. If that gets taken out, but otherwise, it looks like Headstrong's actually might be going for another push, maybe going around the long way. Checking for expand, that's right. But this third could potentially go down if he's not really ready for this. He only has 1 tank in position, and he's moving up a couple Goliaths in the back, so this could be pretty bad. And I'm not sure if he's really Siege really has anything to really combat this. I don't see much. I don't know what Siege really been. Oh, there he's doing his own drop in the at Headstrong's main base, but he's actually going to take off this third, which will put his economy back, while Headstrong's actually going to be having his own third, which is starting to finally get kicking up and running. And maybe he'll get a nice contain over here, and that SCV transfer will actually lead him probably to that new base. And, that base trading for a third, but there is a missile turret up here already, which could prove to be a little pesky. And it looks like he's just going to try to do this a little more Wraith harass. No, he's going to be pushing it out. And, yeah. So he'll be off 3 base to 2 base, and yeah, it's just still no production right out of Headstrong right now. I don't know what he's quite honestly doing. His macro is slipping a little bit, but here we go. Here's a new wave of units coming out. But there are still tanks from C actually still in the main, and he was able to pretty much supply block him. That's why he wasn't building stuff. And getting a couple more free tank kills. Not too bad.
Oh, yeah, that drop actually proved to be way more effective. 2, 7, yeah, about 9 kills via tanks and depots, so he's been delayed greatly, but even still, at the cost of that drop, he's forced too small to defend his third. I'm actually curious, why did he take the mineral-only close third instead of the 12 o'clock gas base? It doesn't make that much sense to me, but I guess that's just the way.
Might be easier to defend, and maybe he wanted to go for something more marine heavy if he wanted to tech switch out, but it doesn't look like that at all. Looks like he's doing still very, very gas heavy build.
Yeah, but as the game's going on, it seems that he's getting farther and farther behind unless he does a bit more harassment, either spike capping his opponent or, well.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty hard, considering that the terrain is pretty locked down, pretty hard. Turrets all over the base and the natural, and the third. So I mean, Wraith harass is not really going to do much. He's going to really have to do some overall, probably death drop, if anything, if they're going to be really, really effective. But looks like he's going to be pushing out with, looks like that actually, a death drop ish, dropping down 6 tanks. Should try to be able to deny this expand, which should force which will force the contain to really siege from happening. But if he's not careful, he could lose all these tanks moderately. But sieging up, and yeah, well, at least force the lift off. So now they're going to be both on 2 base play, and which I guess kind of even the score. C does have an command center that could be lifted down to the third if he chose to, but that barracks probably will spot that if that does go down. But C doesn't really have much to really begin with. I mean, just the amount of mech Headstrong really has right now is just completely ridiculous compared to the 4 or 5 tanks right now that C has right now, and yeah, he's gonna have to continue doing this drop play until just hope that he can do enough damage that Headstrong will have to push back. I just don't see that happening anytime in the near future. We'll get a good positioning on the tanks though, but it's so many siege tanks. I don't see how much. I'm assuming it's probably be GG with this push. I don't really see any way that he can really hold it off. What? Hold it off. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, it does seem like it's going to be the end of the game because, well, because of all the rates of production, he's halted so much gas, and since he hasn't gotten enough gas, their expansion, he can't really produce enough units to hold this back. He's not even on siege tanks at the third base. Now, finally, 2 tanks, it's like 10 or so, plus the Goliaths, and it has +1 armor, so yeah, I don't see much of a way to get out of this unless there's a counter drop, which doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he should be at least getting upgrades probably for just to steal the deal with Headstrong. Maybe put down double armory just to even make his mech even that more effective. But he is putting down a science facility to get more upgrades. I'm not. Do you need? I forget. Do you need a science vessel to actually further upgrades in the armory or no?
The science facility, yeah, you do for all of the upgrades above level 1.
Yeah.
So for 2 and 3, you're gonna need it for air and ground units.
Yeah. So he doesn't have. He's not still doing that yet, but he's actually taking an expand in the bottom right. But this slow tank push is really gonna be really pesky. And I just don't see how he can really hold this off. He's also double expanding off this, which is a smart move. So even if this doesn't work, he's still going to be playing it safe, not doing a complete all-in. As he does have a few good amount of tanks, but he needs to be a little careful. SEA, what could he be doing in this situation? GG out and play another day probably. And now he's just going to be getting some free SCV kills while he's trying to repair that. And yeah, he does have his third coming, not quite up yet.
Well, one of the things that C could have actually done in order to get out of this situation, which doesn't seem like he's going to try to do yet, use the dropships that
Rage quit. You were saying?
This is about it. For the next replay, we're actually going to the Abyss then, because us doing it like at the same time but separately on the 1v1 thing seems to be causing too much problems. So yeah, just log on.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching, guys, and have a nice day. Peace. Fitz out.